You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Pretty Little Liars After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Pretty Little Liars After Show.
I definitely miss this tune. Welcome back, Pretty Little Liar fans. We're doing another recap of PLL, and this is Season 4, Episode 9, Bite Your Tongue. I'm your host, Emma Kay, and joining me is
Sarah Giraud.
A lot going on in this episode. One question I want to start off with is Arya A?
Haha, I've been seeing that all over Twitter, and no.
So defensive.
Yeah, actually, somebody tweeted me, I wonder if I can find it really quick. It was a picture of what could have been Mona. They thought it was Mona. I thought it looked like Spencer, possibly.
Is that throwing over Ian?
Yes.
Okay.
And it made me think, along with some tidbits from today, that maybe Spencer's A.
No.
Why?
I'm going to be defensive on that. No.
Why does she need Adderall? Why is she staying up so late? I know she likes to study and everything, but she looks like she's been living a double life lately.
I think she's just trying to help find clues to get her friends back and to prove to them that Allie is not so innocent that Emily thinks she is.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that too, but maybe that's just a cover up.
You know, the only reason I'm bringing up Arya is because we've had so many, people, as we said, tweet us and ask us what we think about Arya being A, and it also made me question it tonight because she seems so calm about Allie. When Emily was talking to her about Spencer, their disagreement and how Spencer shouldn't have gone, she was just so calm about the situation, and being a real friend, wouldn't you step in and try to mend the situation and to bring everyone together instead of picking sides and saying, okay, well, I guess we'll have movie night, but Spencer and Hannah are not invited. So I'm just wondering, is she benefiting from the team being separated? And of all the people, I don't think I've really seen Arya's parents anywhere in this,
I've
lately.
been wondering that.
And she's staying home, with her brother all by herself, and nothing ever happens to her. Have you noticed? It's like something happens to Spencer. Well, not lately, but something happens to Emily and Hannah, but we don't see anything happening to Arya.
Yeah, I think I'm a little blinded because I love Arya so much.
I do too, and I hope she's not A, but, I was just wondering about that. Hannah wasn't invited to their movie night because she's not mad at Spencer, and quite frankly, I'm not either.
Yeah.
I think she was being a true friend by looking out for Emily, knowing, their car just got stuck in the middle of nowhere.
I am mad that she was noisy, though. She needs to learn how to tiptoe.
Yes, and I feel like if she was A, she would have been a lot more careful. So I don't think she's
Good
point. So walking into a party that Mike is throwing, Arya is furious that, their house is being destroyed, but she's even more furious when she sees Mona coming out of her room.
Yeah.
And it was really shocking to see Mona in her house and to know that she's friends with Mike.
Yeah. Why did Mona need to be in her room? Hello.
Checking out her wallpaper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all she was doing, I'm sure.
But, I know Mona has done things to the girls, but why is Arya to that level of defense with Mona, up to the point where she feels like she needs to talk to a counselor she's never even met about her brother being friends with Mona, and then we see it escalates and it becomes more than friendship. So maybe Mike is doing it to piss off his sister, or maybe Mona is doing it to piss them off or to get closer and get information.
Yeah,
from
that's
them.
kind of what I was thinking, that it's more of it's another situation where somebody's trying to break a bond between two people that could potentially team up together.
And Mike brings up a good point, because Arya is so furious with Mona and pissed off about the whole situation, and decides to tell Mike that she was the one that separated their mom and dad.
Yeah, which was dumb, didn't you think?
It was, and he's like the grown-up in the situation.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if you forgave dad, why wouldn't you forgive the messenger? It's like, people are mad when you bring their faults to the table, but then they don't really look at the action that was done.
Yeah.
So,
which that situation goes along with your Arya theory that she's trying to put Mike against people and keep him under her wing, which she could be trying to influence him in negative ways.
Mm-hmm. Well, who knows? But at least Mike's being the bigger person in this whole thing. And then we see that Maggie is back in the picture. Yeah. I want to know what you thought about that scene, because I have a completely different outtake from that whole scene, and I think a lot of people might agree with me.
Yeah, you know what? I got the vibe that if Ezra is involved with this thing, which we know because we've seen clips of him working on computers with cameras and stuff, what if Maggie is not really like a real person in the situation? She's like planted, and Ezra knows she's not his girlfriend or whatever, and he knew from the start that Malcolm is not his kid, and it's this big fake story in front of Arya that she thinks is real.
Okay. I didn't go that far, but I definitely thought he needed a cover-up story from last week.
Yeah.
How Jake saw him fighting with the woman in the car, and he claimed he was in Philadelphia, which he wasn't. He claimed to Arya he was arguing with Maggie's attorney. So I think he needed to bring Maggie back to talk about the attorneys and her not letting, Ezra see Malcolm, so that way it could be proof for Arya that he was really telling the truth, when we both know he wasn't.
Which kind of stomps out the whole Arya is a theory, because why would he have to prove anything to her if
maybe there's more than one A?
Yeah, that would be the solution to
with
that.
Different agendas. Maybe he's trying to look for Allie because he still loves her, but then you have the real A's who don't like Allie and they're after her.
Yeah.
So that might be the twist after all, to know that there's more than one A.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a really good cover-up story, which if you guys disagree with us, just let us know. But he does a great job at that. And we also have Hannah, who's in detective mode. And, she surprises a lot of us because she's reading a book versus, doing what Hannah does usually.
Yeah. Watching chick flicks and hanging out with boys.
And she runs into the detective at the bookstore, and she's picking out a book. And to me, I think he's giving her clues.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But he can't come out and directly tell her, the investigation and what was concluded. All he could say was that he's sorry about, her and her mom, and sometimes, you put innocent people in get them involved, which they don't need to be. So he knows a lot what's going on, but he can't share with her.
Do you think it was a little weird that he suggested a book that had to do with dental records, and then she ended up getting her mouth messed with. It made me feel like he might have...
But he didn't know she was going to the dentist.
But maybe he did know.
Maybe he did. Do you guys think the detective is part of the A-team? Let us know. We would definitely love to know.
Because the book triggered her to go to the dentist, didn't it? She didn't really need to go. She was going
Well,
to...
he said it always, comes down to the teeth.
Yeah.
That something about the teeth that it
And
doesn't
then
lie. So
did she book her appointment after that?
yes.
So
She thinks,
he knew she would do that.
well, she thinks that the x-rays could have been replaced, and it has to do with the dental lab,
Yeah.
which I'm guessing there's only one in town.
Yeah, small town.
And she used to work there. So
Convenient.
She decides to make an appointment to go get her teeth checked out. In the meantime, she would just sneak into the file room, steal the records, and just head on home.
Didn't work out that way.
No, it does not work out that way. It actually works out very bad because, she goes in the file room, she comes back, and she's waiting for the doctor to come see her, not knowing that they've already closed the office and people are gone home. And who we think is A starts operating on Arya.
Oh my
I'm sorry,
God.
not Arya.
Yeah,
Hannah.
Hannah.
I'm like getting so excited. I'm
Yeah.
confusing all the names. That was scary.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
And how long was she in the file room that she didn't even hear
Yeah.
what was going on?
It's a slight little weird
See,
TV
that is
thing.
exactly why Spencer followed Emily.
Yes.
You never know what's gonna happen.
You never know. Somebody could have scared AOA by stomping around like Spencer did.
Exactly.
Nobody was looking out for it. That's because Caleb's gone. I had to bring it
We
up.
need Caleb back,
Yeah.
and we need Toby back. We need all the boyfriends in the picture because
Yeah.
the girls need help, and excluding Ezra, of course.
Yeah.
So, sometimes parents do the darndest things. And you sit and wonder, you haven't been around for a while, and then now you're in the picture, you're trying to fix the situation, but, we're specifically talking about Emily's dad. He shows up at their school because Emily refuses to take the car after finding out that it had remotely been turned off. So the car is, everything now is computerized, and it's really easy to navigate from anywhere. So we find out that just like the GPS system was changed, the routes were changed, the car was turned off in the middle of nowhere. So Emily knows what's going on, and she feels unsafe, so she decides to take a bike. And then her dad shows up to school to talk to Ezra. I don't think they've even met.
Yeah.
Or,
That was a weird conversation.
very
too.
weird. Like showing up and saying, by the way,
Yeah.
while my daughter was staying at the De Laurentiis house and thought
Let
her
me
dead
just
friend
give
was
you
alive.
All of this information that you don't need.
Can you give her some extracurricular work so that way
Yeah.
she spends more time at school and less away from her thoughts?
Yeah.
Ezra's like, perfect. You just came and fell into my trap. Of course I will
Yeah.
give her more work. I'm just thinking, what normal parent does that?
I would be so pissed at my parents if they had done that to me. Yeah, I just want more homework and stuff to do.
And
I
how do you
have
know,
lots of time.
how you could trust this teacher with
Your child.
what's going on in your child's life?
Yeah.
That upset me so much. I can't believe he did that. So whatever's going on, that was very, very stupid of him, and I really hope no other parent does that. So we have one parent who's putting their child in danger. Other parents who are not even involved in their parent's life. You have Spencer taking drugs to stay awake to find the
God.
clues and to find information on A and who it is. Emily is almost killed at school because she's staying late as her dad assigned her.
And we can't forget that Emily almost stabbed her dad because she was terrified.
Yes. So the liars are definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
They need help. They need real counseling and therapy.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they get that later on. So Emily's stuck in school. The door's locked. There's music coming out from the speakers, and she goes up and locks herself in the copy room again and decides to call her dad to come and pick her up because she's scared. And then we see that A is trying to open the door and get inside the room. She finally gets her dad's attention, who shows up with the car and breaks the window, and her dad climbs
The water pipes or
the
something?
water pipe to come save her.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he saves her, did they not see A looking down? He
Yeah.
faints and has what I'm guessing is probably a mini stroke.
Yeah.
So it seemed like so much happened at once, and A was in so many places at once.
Mm-hmm.
I kept on telling myself, okay, it's just a small town, so he was able to
Yeah.
travel
It's like Santa.
travel around everywhere. One moment he was with Hannah, the next moment he's trying to hurt Emily. And if we really think it's Ezra,
That would be perfect.
he opens up with meeting or bumping into Spencer at the pub.
Yeah.
But before we get there,
That's a good one.
let's open up with Spencer. And what does she find in Allie's journal?
Oh. Well, we know which pub it is specifically now. What was it called? It was called Heart and the Huntsman.
Okay, I didn't write down the pub's name. I wrote down the beer's name.
Oh yeah, and the beer's name was Board Shorts.
Yes. All this time, we've been thinking
Yeah.
Board Shorts is a guy that Allie met. Board Shorts is a beer that her lover, or whoever she was seeing at the time and is in her journal, was drinking along with
Well, we don't know for
boysenberry pie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ezra. Because I was just about to say, I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but we're just speculating that it was Ezra that Allie was talking about. But do you think that it really was?
Well, they're talking about literature. He's an English teacher.
That's what got me going at first.
So there is a lot of given clues there.
Yeah.
He's ordering a boysenberry pie, lies to Spencer
Yeah.
about the recommendation from the waitress, and then when
Or
Spencer...
was he lying?
Or no, Spencer asked the waitress, and she said, no, that's disgusting.
Oh, duh. I totally missed that. Okay. Yeah.
So the only thing we were waiting for to see the beer and the connection, but we had to rewind and see if he had a beer, and he didn't.
No.
But he did end up canceling his order, the rest of his order.
bet it was the beer.
So we don't know if it was the beer. And the waitress, again, another clue that is out there, but then again, we might be overthinking it, brings Spencer the beer without IDing her and says, if anyone asks, I checked your ID.
Yeah.
So
Why would she just bring that to her? Yeah.
like, not even a glass, the whole bottle.
Yeah.
Don't you think that was
That
kind
was a
of
clue.
weird?
She wouldn't just do that for fun. I want to serve a minor in this restaurant and possibly get fired.
So who do you think is behind that? Behind her getting that beer?
Maybe either there's somebody in the bar that was like, bring this beer to that girl.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she was there serving when Ezra or whoever Allie was talking about was there. And she wants Hannah to know that bar has significance and like confirm everything that they've been.
But how would she
speculating.
know? How would the waitress know that Spencer knows Allie?
Good point. Didn't really think that through. Maybe she's been following the story and knows from the newspaper.
Do you think Ezra might have told her to give the beer to distract Spencer's whole mission and what she's trying to find.
Distract her by giving
Thinking
her
she's getting clues
clue?
to keep her occupied with this while he's searching for Allie.
Oh, possibly. That's a good point. But then he left, and we don't know where he went because we never saw him at the school, which made me feel like he was in the sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, we see him with Hannah first, and he could have just taken the white coat off and gone out to in his...
the timeline fits. That wasn't all simultaneous. They all happened one after another, right?
And Hannah was sleeping for a while because he put the gas mask
yeah.
on her, so it took time for her to wake up. So he
perfect.
would have had enough time to make it to the school to try and scare Emily. And here's my other question. Who leaves the school unlocked?
Yeah,
What school do they go to? Because my school never let us stay
Yeah.
in the school if it was unattended.
Well, maybe A is unlocking it so that these stupid girls can walk inside.
Okay, so Emily makes it to Arya's house after her dad is taken to the hospital. I'm guessing Arya picked her up and brought her over because she didn't want her staying in the hospital. And she also called Spencer to come, and I like that they made up. Made me feel good, to have the team back together.
Well, and Arya called Spencer, so our original thought about her trying to split everyone up, maybe she's not doing that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You don't know who to trust.
They're all
and
decoys.
What to trust. So, and then Hannah just shows up, comes in, freaking out, tells them the story of what happened to her. And A was operating on her. So Spencer pulls out a message from Hannah's mouth, which was...
I thought she was going to be like, oh my God, you're missing all your molars. Like, no one will be able to identify you if you die. I thought it was going to be that serious, but...
So the message on the note was, it said, I told you dead girls can't smile. Stop looking. A.
Ugh.
So whoever knew that she was going to go get the records is trying to send a message. So do you really think it was a detective giving her a clue and then telling her to stop looking?
I don't think so. No. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But it's also connected that it's weird that he would randomly say that. Like, that's not something you just say all the time.
Well, maybe after the investigation, he's found out a lot that he can't just openly come and share. And you don't know what higher forces or powers are stopping him from moving forward. As we see, we've never expected. Jessica De Laurentiis is on the board of Radley. Yeah. And we never even thought of that. So who else is involved? The chief of police or the, commissioner or whoever is involved. We don't know.
Yeah. And I think that detective never dreamed that Hannah would go that far. But A obviously would dream that.
Yes. So we see A closing the scene with the bird. The bird is back. The bird is alive, and they didn't eat the bird.
Oh, good.
And we see the information, the dental record shredded.
Yeah.
So I guess no finding out who was in that room. But I still think Mona is connected somehow. I just can't.
She's
put
not
my
good.
finger
I know
on
that
it.
for sure.
So anything else you want to add?
I'll double check once.
But, if you guys have anything to add, of course, tweet us, go to YouTube, iTunes, rate, comment, give us 5 stars. Don't forget to go on to AfterBuzzTV.com and let us know your predictions or your theories for next week and what is going to happen. And we'll move on to our predictions.
Yeah.
You want to start?
I'll start.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Whoa.
I'm liking the sound effects.
Yeah, it's a nice one. I'm going to go ahead and stomp out the Arya A prediction that everyone else has. it seems too obvious to me. It's kind of like the whole Ezra thing, even though he is tied in, and I was totally denying that for so long. I just think that Arya is smitten in love, and she's silly, and that's why she's acting weird, but she's not A.
And we completely forgot to talk about her running into Maggie outside and proving, trying to stand up for Ezra, and Maggie just shut her down.
That's
She's
why
like,
I think
you sound like a very concerned student who sleeps, with Mr. Fitz and trying to defend him. I'm like, yikes.
Yeah, I don't think if she was A, I don't think she would put herself out there like that.
Well, you don't know. Ezra's backed up, and stood up for her as well. So God knows what's going on and who's who. But my prediction is going to be that Spencer's dad is some way connected to this whole story, this case. And maybe he was, because he didn't want Toby to come forward with Bradley and the information because of what he claimed was his mom and the settlement, and it had nothing to do with Jessica being on the board. But I think Spencer's dad is in much deeper than we think.
Yeah.
So I think he also might have something to do with the case, and the investigation hasn't been going on anymore. So we'll see. So next week we see some juicy information, and Spencer is on to Ezra. So we can't wait until next week. Until then, guys, you guys can follow me on gqjedi.com, and you guys can shop on TemmaCaseCloset.com with promo code AfterBuzzTV.
And you can find me on Twitter at SarahGGG, as usual.
Until next time, guys, bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.